Good afternoon, beloved. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It appears that the sun is coming out, and so that is a good thing because we probably won't see it after it goes behind the clouds again. So make sure you know where your raincoat and galoshes are. And so today is August the 7th, I believe. Yes, August the 7th. And this was a historic week 110 years ago. 110 years ago this week, beginning on the 4th of August, Europe went to war. And so began World War I. And what I want to talk to you today about is how that war was fought and ask you a question. Soon into the midst of World War I, trench warfare began. It was relatively new, and pretty much where the trenches were dug was where things stopped and started. The movements of the lines were not that great over the ensuing 4 years of war that were to take place. That became between the trenches became a place that is referred to as no man's land. And in fact, if you look at pictures, what used to be lush fields and green forest are all gone. There's no trees. There's nothing but barbed wire. And they refer to it now as the iron harvest in France, because when they're out there every year and they're digging up dirt for crops, they're finding all sorts of iron. There are parts of France, because of so much projectiles that were launched back and forth, that they don't even let people go near it anymore. It became a place of death. And the trenches were awful. They were filled with mud. They were filled with mice. They were filled with lice. It was just a miserable existence. And that's how they fought. Whereas in previous wars, armies had been on the move and they didn't dig in. And yes, there was a lot of destruction and things like that. World War I, which really precipitated another war, World War II, which precipitated the Cold War. Although you could trace the Cold War's origins back to World War I. Where a whole generation of Europe was lost, really all circles around trench warfare. And so, I want to ask you today, beloved, on what subjects are you entrenched on? Well, Mark, this is where I am, and I'm not going to change. I'm not asking that, beloved. You can stand and never move and not become entrenched. Where you dig down and dig down and dig down. You can say that I'm not going to move and not be entrenched. Statues are not entrenched. But the more entrenched you are, life does not spring up around you, because with a statue you can build a park around it. No, what circles around you in a trench is nothing more than death. And so we are called, beloved, to never be entrenched. In fact, we are called to be always on the move. We are a pilgrim people. Remember that. And just as the Spirit blows and blows wherever it will, so if we are led by the Spirit, should we be ever blown according to where it is that we should be. But if we're entrenched, and right now in our society, folks outside the church and folks inside the church are more entrenched than ever before. If you're entrenched, you are not bringing life to people. And our job is to be purveyors of life, because Jesus said that he was abundant life. And we're supposed to be bringing people to Jesus. And you cannot bring people to Jesus, who is abundant life, if you have nothing more on you than the specter of death. And so, beloved, bring life today. Don't be entrenched. If you find yourself entrenched, ask somebody to help you out of the trench. And move as the Spirit calls you to. And as you do, remember that the easiest way to stay unentrenched is to be a person where grace abounds in every way throughout their life. And may that grace abound from you to others. Until later, I'll be back for prayer meeting tonight at 6:30. Take care. God bless.